don't forget to check out the clip at the end of the video for more information on the channel. But in case you don't get a chance to, let me know your feelings. Share it on the video. That means liking, disliking, commenting, and subscribing. Let me know what you think, and that also helps the channel grow too. So what do you need to get this job done? Not too much, actually. Not pictured here. Drain pan, jack, and jack stands. You do want the car to be level, so either you need 4 jack stands, or you got park on an incline or something that you can then jack the car up. Like if you're on an incline and it's up, I'll talk about it more after. You know, you can jack it up and make sure the car is level. On top of that, you need a long funnel of some sort. Ratchet with an 11mm socket or an 11mm wrench. I found the ratchet to be better. And some full synthetic Dexron VI. Alright, so we're about to do a drain and fill on the transmission for this Terrain, as you saw in the video there. It also works on Equinoxes or anything with the V6 transmission here. Pretty much the same even on the 4-cylinder, except the 4-cylinder, as I understand, has a plug on the side to check the level, whereas this has a dipstick. Other than that, though, it's all the same thing. So first you'll notice though that the car is supported on, you want a level service and you want to warm up the transmission a little bit. Makes the fluid a little more viscous and easy to pour out, or you want to get as much as you can. And keeping it level will allow as much to come out as possible. If you jack up the car, especially since you're jacking up the front end, the car will be at an angle and a lot of the fluid's going to sit in the back here and you're not going to get everything out. So you want it to be as level as possible. So now you're going to go ahead and take out this nut right here. So you see here's the transmission, just to give you bearings. Here's the exhaust. That's where your oil pan is over there. Over here is where your transmission, and it's just this nut right here. You have to loosen it out, and it is 11mm. It's not very tight, so we're gonna go in here and loosen it up. Now, transmission fluid is very toxic. All fluids actually are pretty toxic. The transmission is pretty bad, and it smells pretty disgusting. So be cautious when you're doing this. Of course, you should probably wear gloves. Gold glove. I would just go in and manually remove that nut. Oops, not ready yet. So we'll just go in, do it a little bit more. There we go. And it's just going to pour out. There, see it's starting to come out there. There we go, and just let it run out. So we'll let that run. You basically want to drain out everything as much as possible. So let that run for a while. I'm not going to let you guys watch. You want to basically until it is like drip or nothing at all, okay? In the meantime, I'm just going to get a rag, and I'm going to clean this up. So that's what I'll do right now. That's simple. Just get clean, lint-free rag, and wipe it off. That's it. Now, while we're waiting for this, a good rule of thumb when you're draining out your transmission fluid is to know how much to put back in, is to measure how much comes out. So basically, you can see right now it's coming to a trickle. It's starting to loosen out a bit. So basically, you know, anywhere between 4 to 6 liters / quarts will come out, depending on, you know, how you're doing the car and everything like that. Also, again, if just to mention again, keeping the car level. I know sometimes you need 4 jack stands or, you know, something to do that, but sometimes you can find an uneven surface, you know. So let's say it's like this, and you park the car in the even surface, put the parking brake, chalk the wheels, and just raise up the front end. It'll be even, although you're on an even surface. But of course, be careful with doing something like that. But again, just another suggestion for you. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, you measure how much comes out, and how much comes out is typically how much is going to go back in. While I'm waiting for this here, also to tell you too, you know, the ideal way to really truly do this is to flush it out completely, but the home mechanic, not always possible. So if you are doing this, one thing you could do is fill up the transmission with fluid, drive for a little while, approximately 100 kilometers / 60 miles or so, let it just mix but not too much, and then do this all over again. If you do it 2 or 3 times, basically until this fluid starts looking a lot more redder than it's looking right now, then you should be all set, and then your fluid more or less is dumped out. You won't get all of it. It's not possible without a, you know, a proper flushing machine, but you'll get a good set. Okay, so you can see here now that it's just barely dripping out there. So we're pretty much all set, ready to go. So what we'll do now is I'll take the nice cleaned up plug. There you go. And we're going to go ahead and reinsert that back in. Now, if I believe I read correctly, the rating for this is 7.8 foot-pounds, 8 foot-pounds essentially. But essentially what you're doing is just hand tight, nothing more than that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our ratchet. Just gonna tighten that up. Until essentially it's hand tight. You saw how easy it came off before. That's factory specifications, so it doesn't take much. That's good. Now also you take a rag, or in this case I'm just gonna use that same old glove. It's going in the garbage anyways afterwards. And clean up around here. This is important because when you put the fluid in, it allows you to see, you can do a spot check after and see, make sure that it is in fact no leaks coming around here, nothing like that. So clean it up and you're all set. Just as a comparison point, you can see that is what some fresh fluid looks like. Nice and red. And this is the old fluid, not so red. Right now the car is sitting around 60,000 miles or 100,000 kilometers. So that's where it's kind of sitting right now, which is a little bit over the interval, to be honest. But, you know, this is what you're looking at here. So now, the dipstick for the transmission is right under there. Let's see. Right there. See it? There it is. So, and it's a little bit awkward to get to, and you have this line that runs here. Funny enough, now I would have actually recommended anyways to loosen the line off to give you room if you wanted to. It's just a nut that goes on there. Funny enough, I came in here and this is already loosened off. The nut had fallen off sometime during when the client was driving, and it's fallen down who knows where. So this was just hanging off anyways. So there, you can move the line around a bit if you loosen it. It gives you a little more room to work with. The sun is killing the view here, but you get it. So you just go in. Sorry. Right, grab and twist counterclockwise, and then pull out. Here's your line, and I just leave that here. You need a long filler cap. Funnel, I should say. We got to get that in here, and that's going to be a little tricky to do with one hand. So let me actually stop. The idea, of course, is just to get your funnel right into that opening there. I'm going to stop and show you guys. So you can see I have to set the funnel up there. There is better ways to do this, but I've just set this up for the interest of filming. You can see it's run there. Just like I at least pour one bottle in. And of course, it's synthetic Dexron VI. There is regular Dexron VI apparently out there. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's out there. I've heard a few people tell me that. So I haven't looked, but I made sure to get synthetic. And then you just kind of pour in. Drain out a bit. So while that drains out, and of course if you get it, like you see, I dropped a couple drops of fluid down there. Make sure you clean that up if you happen to. All right, so I have put in now 1 quart/liter, and normally what you do here is I would fill up to at least about 4. Turn the car on, run the transmission for a bit, go through all the gears, go into neutral, reverse, drive, everything. Then park it once the transmission is a little warm, not too much. Check the level with the dipstick, and then top up as needed. And all in all, then it should take pretty much exactly what came out should go right back in. In this case, it was just about 4 liters, 4.5 liters. So that should be what's going in as well. Once you complete that, you go for a drive. You check your fluid levels after about 50 kilometers or so. let's say about 25 miles, just to make sure that you're not running low. And then after you've done that, if you really want to purge everything out, like I told you before, at about 100 kilometers, you go in and do this step all over again. See, it doesn't take very long. The video is probably longer than what the job actually takes. So and then once you're done, then you'll get nice fluid. It'll be nice fresh inside there, and you're good for a little while longer. Hope this video has helped you out. Now the YouTube stuff. I always love a great feedback, so make sure right off the bat to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Now, if you like something on the channel, definitely like it. Give it that thumbs up. If you disliked it, thumbs down for sure. But let me know why. That's what the comment section are for. And whatever it is, if you like something, then I know it's working. And if you dislike something, then I know something didn't. But let me know why, so I can continue to build a channel and make it better for me and for you. Aside from that, commenting is great too. So if there's something you can do better, something you can do different, any tips for other viewers, I'm all about that too. So make sure to put that in there. If you have a question about something that's maybe not even related directly to the video, leave that for me as well. Other than that, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next video.